Now, well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the TravelMole COVID-19 broadcast. I hope it won't be too long before we can drop the COVID-19 title. It'll just be ordinary TravelMole interviews. But if it gives me the opportunity to speak to people like Lisa from Elegant Resorts, then long be it so. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Graham. Thank you for the opportunity.
No problem at all. Lisa, you're looking bright and cheery. I understand you've just been away for a few days away. Is that right?
Yes, I've been one of the very lucky ones to get to Greece. So Corfu and Paxos. So it was lovely and well-needed recharge. So ready for whatever is going to be thrown at us over the next few months now.
Okay, good. Well, I won't be throwing too much of any hardship at you during this interview, I hope. Lisa, Elegant Resorts, obviously very well known in the industry. The group recently acquired If Only as well. How do the two brands work together now?
Yeah, so we've got, obviously If Only is a complete B2B brand, always has been, more or less, and we're very committed to that. So, you know, the culture of that company is so focused 100% on the trade, and you know, that's absolutely where, you know, we want it to sit. Elegant Resorts, as you know, has always been a bit more of a B2C brand. And I joined the company about 2.5 years ago. And we had a lot of focus on developing our trade business, because it was fairly small. And the strategy at the time was very much, direct customer business, and we were happy with the trade business that we got, but there wasn't a huge amount of development to grow it. But we'd started some development to grow it, and you know, we don't see that changing. There's lots of ways that we can work closer with If Only, because If Only have obviously got a great trade team that are on the road all the time. Our trade team at Elegant Resorts is quite small, so there's a lot more collaboration between those two teams. So John Hardcastle is our head of agency sales at Elegant Resorts, and he's talking to Tracy Doherty almost on a daily basis, so that they can work a lot more collaboratively together. And other than that, I mean, you know, Elegant Resorts is sat at the very, very top end of the market. You know, the vision for the company is to be the very, very best at luxury, and it's very much, you know, at that high 5-star plus level.
The sort of stuff you and I would like.
Absolutely. The best of the best of the best. I honestly feel we have the best team in the industry to service that very, very top end customer, who wants all of the bells and the whistles and the concierge. And we meet people directly from, you know, the curbside at Gatwick Airport, and sweep them through the airport, and meet them straight off the plane and sweep them through. And, you know, and everybody that travels with Elegant Resort is dealt with like a rock star or a VIP, you know, so that's very much the brand positioning. And we've done a lot of work on the brand in the last 2.5 years of just refining it and looking at it and looking at how we could grow it. And a natural way of growth is to bring down the product or to expand the product. But we wanted to keep it at that very high end. But the expansion has really been into the tailor-made area. So because predominantly Elegant Resorts always been known as beach. So, you know, which it absolutely is. That's about 75% of our business. But 25% of our business, you know, has been tailor-made and villas and ski. And we found that the trade didn't really know about that. They didn't think of us for that. So the DMCs that we work with in those countries are the best of the best, and they'll get people into areas of the country that they couldn't necessarily, or, you know, get into, or into buildings, and, you know, the guides are the very best. And so we've done a lot of work on that tailor-made development over the last 2.5 years. And then the acquisition of If Only really just complements it, because you've got this sort of nice crossover on the trade, so we can work a lot closer together. And there's elements of product at Elegant Resorts that potentially If Only can have access to, which will elevate the If Only brand upwards. But we want, obviously to still have that sort of affordable luxury, for if only, scope on that top end as well.
So in terms of bookings, let's just stick with Elegant Resorts really at the moment. Is the top end of the market, was that one of the first to react adversely to coronavirus, and will it be one of the first or the last to come back? Do you think be more cautious?
I think traditionally that very top end has been one of the areas of the markets to be the most resilient, because people who've got lots of money want to travel, and they'll travel come what may. So throughout Elegant Resorts history, it's never really been too impacted, by all of the various things that we've come across, because people still want to travel. So I think initially we thought it would actually bounce back a lot quicker than it has. We found we had really good momentum in July, really good momentum. We were so surprised. We were just like, oh gosh, this is so much better than we thought. And we actually, in terms of sales in July, we ended up less bookings, but we actually did slightly more revenue than last year, which is quite phenomenal, really. But that was what we were finding, is that the value of bookings went up massively because of a number of one-off bookings that were private jets, or somebody had a private jet and they just wanted that villa in Barbados, so there was some phenomenal stuff that was coming through that really took up the value hugely. So we were so pleased with that. But then as soon as the FCO change came in for Spain, that was the first sort of huge knock of confidence, because Elegant Resorts does Europe, if only obviously doesn't. So we have had, passengers travel with us from July onwards. So besides the bookings that we're making for the future, we've actually had some good travel business for July and August. But unfortunately, that was the start of the real rock of confidence, and that's just got worse.
So, and what about forward bookings? 2021, are people booking with confidence yet or not?
Absolutely. Understandably, we're a lot further ahead for next year than we were this time last year, because a lot of the bookings from this year has moved on to next year. So, it would be very worrying if it wasn't. So yeah, lots on the books for 2021. But we've also had lots of late bookings for this year. So traditionally at this time of year, about 30% of our business would be for this year and 70% for next year, where it's 40% for this year and 60% for next year. But after the recent announcement yesterday with Greece, I think that'll probably change, to be honest. So, it's been crazy. I mean, we've literally, organised people's holidays 3 or 4 times, So we sent them to Mallorca. Oh, can't go to Mallorca. Let's go to Portugal. Oh, can't go to Portugal. Let's go to Greece. Yeah. And then you have to really, really take a look at it and think, is it worth it? All of that work for potentially for nothing at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's a very difficult situation. I mean, you're obviously a woman with a deal of experience in the travel industry. People talk about silver bullets in terms of getting travel back to somewhere near where it used to be. What's your opinion of that? Do you think there is a silver bullet, or do you think there's a series of maybe bronze bullets or ordinary bullets that need to be fired in order to get something? I mean, obviously, people in the travel industry have had a fairly downbeat view of the UK government's handling of the quarantine. The fact it came in so late, and then the advice has been sporadic and changing and not very clear. And also, when people come into the country, how quickly and how efficiently they've been to track and trace people that have come back with COVID. What's your opinion?
Yeah, I don't think there's just one thing really. I mean, ultimately, we need a vaccine. That's what we need, but we don't know when that's coming. So there needs to be a number of things that we do to get people moving again confidently. we've had loads of feedback from the people that have travelled with us in July and August, and the way that, you know, the Greeks have handled it, the Italians have handled it, the Spanish have handled it, have been really quite good. And people feel really quite confident on how the resorts they've stayed in have operated, and the extra hygiene and the social distancing. And it is a new normal, but, you know, once you've sort of, you know, got over the worry of the plane journey and everything else, then, you know, you can relax and totally switch off and have a lovely holiday. And people need holidays. They need holidays for their health. You know, we get out if we don't look after ourselves. So, you know, and people aren't getting the holidays that, you know, that they've been able to in the past. So, so I just think confidence is at the all-time low, because they might book to go to that place, but it might change. And, you know, is it really going to, am I really ever going to be able to go? Is that, you know, so there's so much worry, and there's so many different steps to go through for each and every country. So both If Only and Elegant Resorts, we're spending lots of time training our staff on the new protocols. We have a call every other day now on, okay, this is what we need to do for Barbados, this is what we need to do for Antigua, so that when people call us, we are experts in it, and we can navigate through. So, you know, I personally feel that the quarantine, I'm not sure how it's being tracked. I know so many people that haven't had their documentation checked when they've come back into the UK. So how are we tracking quarantine? I know on the update from the government yesterday, they said 1 in 5 people were called. I don't know a single person that's been called, and I've had lots and lots of people that I know that have travelled now. So that is a real concern. I'm not sure it's the safest way of doing it. There's a lot of talk of the way that Iceland are doing it, with testing when they come home and then another 5 days later. I'm no expert on it, but I feel that that's a better way of doing it. Completely understand that, you know, some countries are very risky, and we have to be really careful about where we send people. So it can't be just open the doors to every single country, but it just has to be a lot more straightforward, and there has to be a lot more understanding of why. People just don't understand why Zante has been put on the list, or Mykonos, or Santorini, or do you know what I mean? So
yes, of course, yeah. Well, I think everybody in the travel industry, including myself, obviously, is looking for a better, and dare say, a more professional approach from the government in terms of travel. It's suffering very, very badly, obviously, and lots of people are likely to lose their jobs if they haven't done already. And it's such a major contributor to the UK economy from inbound tourism as well. So I think everybody's looking for that. Whether they get that leadership or that guidance is a moot point, I think, at the moment. The performance to date has been sketchy, if I was being complimentary. So
and all over the place, and nobody's got confidence in it, have they?
No, they haven't. And it's interesting as well, you know, anecdotally, even here in the UK, I wasn't off to Corfu or Paxos, but I went to the Isle of Wight. And even in the Isle of Wight, the adherence to track and trace whenever you went anywhere, in terms of people wearing masks, people taking your phone number and your name, much more adherence to that on the Isle of Wight than there was, say, where I live here in Sussex. Major difference. And just shows you how people can change, and people can adapt if they have to, and they need to.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Lisa, thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate it. I wish you the very best of luck, and maybe we can have another chat in maybe towards the end of the year and see how your forward bookings are going.
Hopefully it'll be amazing. Well, I don't know about amazing, but, you know, back in the right direction if it needs to be. So, but yeah, let's keep everything crossed. So, you know, we've got to be optimistic, and we've got to stay positive, and we've got to focus on what we can actually control. you know, that's what we can do. So
Cool.
thank
Okay,
you so
then.
much for the opportunity. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank
See you.
you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.